So let's move on to an isosceles trapezoid. We have WXYZ is an isosceles trapezoid. Again, I want to start marking things as soon as I know what I'm doing, right? So I know that these are parallel. I know that these are congruent, okay? So WY, my diagonal there, is 3x minus 7, okay? So I have 3x minus 7 as this diagonal, okay? And I have XZ, which is the other diagonal, is going to be, I'll write it in a different color, 2x plus 9, okay? And that goes in this direction. So we need to remember the properties of an isosceles trapezoid, but what's key here is they're giving us both of the diagonals, so we need to look up what we know about the diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid. Once you go back and see in your notes what that tells you, it should say that diagonals of isosceles trapezoids are congruent, meaning they're equal to each other, meaning we can set them equal to each other. So we have that 3x minus 7 is then equal to 2x plus 9. Okay, so then we can solve for x, and ultimately we want to find the length of WY, okay, of this diagonal, but without in terms of x, just in terms of a number. So if we take 2x away from both sides, we get x over here. If we add 7 to both sides, okay, we get x is 16. Okay, that's great, but we are not done yet. We have to take this x as 16 and find WY. So we plug it back in up here. For x, 3 times 16 minus 7. Okay, so then we get 3 times 16 and we take away 7. We end up getting 41. So that is the length of our diagonal WY. It's also the length of our diagonal XZ. All right, we have made it to our last example in the notes, so hopefully you are gathering that it is helpful to have your quadrilateral notes out and be looking at the properties as we go. So let's start marking up this last one, because there's a lot happening in this problem. We have that RAKT is a kite, okay, so we need to pull out our properties of kite. We are told that AT is 16, okay, so this whole segment here is 16. We're told that AB, okay, is 3x minus 1. All right, we're told that RB, okay, just from R right here to B, is y plus 4. Okay, so already we're seeing we're dealing with two different variables. BK, so this last part of that diagonal, is 5y minus 15. Okay, and then RK, the entire diagonal, is 31, and I want to find x and y here. Okay, so I need to start thinking about my properties of kites. Okay, so I start with the fact that one of my diagonals is bisected. Okay, the one that's bisected will give me that AB equals BT. They are congruent segments, okay? From here, I can take 3x minus 1 and multiply it by 2. So I can have 2 times 3x minus 1, and that'll give me the entire AT, right? This gives me 6x minus 2, okay? This right here is AT, okay? Important because AT equals 16, all right? So if we set what we found for AT, which is 6x minus 2, and we equal it to 16, we can now solve for our x value. We add 2 to both sides, okay, and we get 6x equals 18. Okay, we divide both sides by 6. We get x equals 3. Okay, so there's our x value. X is 3. Now we need to find our y value. Okay, so this is maybe a little bit trickier, but we know we need to deal with where we have y's. So we have y's here and we have y's here, meaning we're dealing with this entire length of our other diagonal. Okay, we're dealing with RK. Well, RK is 31, and RK is made up of RB, which is y plus 4, and of BK, which is 5y minus 15. Okay. Okay, so now we just need to simplify and solve. All right, so we have 31 equals, well, now 6y's. Okay. And we have minus 15 and plus 4, so we get minus 11. Then if we add 11 to both sides, add 11, not 4, 11, we get 42 equals 6y. Okay, then we divide both by 6, and we get y equals 7. Okay, so here's our other value. Here's that, and y is 7. Okay, so you guys made it through the notes. You should start work on your classwork and homework. This is a difficult section, so please feel free to work together, but it needs to be quietly working together, okay? This isn't fun, let's go chat time, all right? You need to go pick up a classwork and a homework, and you need to start your work quietly.